Going to kick off the Board of Selectmen special meeting for November 30th, 2022. It's 5:02. We're just going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. So let's do that first. Chris has to do it on the plane. Pledge allegiance to the flag, United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Does anybody else have the fear that they're going to forget it as they're repeating it?
Wendy, I did that for 4 years and I worried about it every time.
I do. Okay, good. So we don't have public audience tonight. And on the agenda, we have selectmen action, not selection. First of all, I think we need to take attendance because we're on Zoom. So I can, do you want me to just read off who's here? I think that would be the easiest. We have Melissa Appleby, Wendy Maxdudas, Tom Roy, Jason Casey, Amber Abule, Eric Wellman, Sean Aska, Maria Capriola, Chris Peterson, Amy Merriweather, and Kathy Radicchio. And I do want to say that if we speak on here, please identify yourself if you're speaking, if you're going to weigh in with any comments. So just wanted to summarize why we're here tonight. We have the resolutions to correspond to the referendums and the information that we've done at both our November 28th meeting that we reviewed and made the motions. And that was done last night at the Board of Finance meeting. So we are going to go through the resolutions and then we're going to make a motion to set the referendum date. So the first, Maria, do you want to add anything to that? Nope. Okay. So trying to get so we have two items for the referendum with two resolutions. I was going to ask others to read it because I think I read enough numbers the other day. And I'm going to turn this over. Well, we don't have to read them all. I think for protocol, it says we should read them into the record. So if we want to do that, since we're not displaying them on the screen, then that would probably be best. Oh, we are displaying them on the screen. Magic. So if somebody wants to do the first, hold on, I'm going to turn this over to Amber. The first item is on the first item is on the supplemental appropriation item. So Amber, do you want to just kind of walk through that and then get to the wording for the referendum?
Okay, so I'm just going to read what is on the screen right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Resolved, upon motion duly made, seconded, and adopted, the reading into the minutes of the full text of the resolutions set out below is waived. Copies of the resolutions having been made available to those in attendance, which I guess we are doing on screen since we're virtual, and recorded into these records immediately preceding these minutes. Resolved that the Board of Selectmen recommends and approves the following.
You don't have to read all this, right?
Well, since it's presented, that's an option. So that was how Maria said it to me. So if you prefer not to read it, or if you'd like to read it, Amber, that's on you. Up to you.
I'll finish reading like this page, and then I guess we can decide what we need to do with the resolutions.
Okay, great.
So the general purpose projects, non-bonds, renovation and expansion of Latimer Lane School Capital Reserve Fund, $2,261,837. Various multi-use trail and sidewalk projects comprised of Bloomfield to Tariffville multi-use trail lot SIP grant, $1,254,200. North End sidewalk construction lot SIP grant, $913,072.12. Firetown Road sidewalk construction, lot SIP grant, $1,200,000, and community connectivity program grant, $594,000, for a total of $3,961,000 $3,961,272.12.
So if you want to go to right, the next page is actually the summary for the Latimer project. I think since we read the member, do you want to just make a motion to accept the wording and the resolution for the Latimer project?
So I'll move the motion. I'll move the resolution that Amber just made, which covers everything.
Okay, but I'd like to read the wordings for both.
The whole point of that resolution was to skip reading the wording.
I'd like to read the wording for the what's going to be on the referendum. So Amber, if you'd like to do that, that would be great.
Okay.
So then I withdraw my motion.
Okay. Resolution appropriating from the Capital Reserve Fund the amount of $2,261,837 for the renovation and expansion of Latimer Lane Elementary School. Resolved, A, that the town of Simsbury appropriate from the Capital Reserve Fund the amount of $2,261,837 for the renovation and expansion of Latimer Lane Elementary School, including outdoor learning spaces. The appropriation may be spent for planning, design, architectural, engineering, and other consultants' fees, equipment costs and construction costs, legal fees, net temporary interest and other financing costs, and other expenses related to the project and its financing. The Board of Selectmen may determine the particulars and may reduce or modify the scope of the project, and the entire appropriation may be spent on the reduced or modified project. B, that pursuant to Section 809 of the Town Charter, this resolution be presented to a referendum vote under the following caption. Shall the town of Simsbury appropriate $2,261,837 from the Capital Reserve Fund for the renovation and expansion of Latimer Lane Elementary School?
And then the second one is for a computer
for the sidewalks.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want me to read that one? I'll move on to that one. Resolution appropriating local transportation capital improvement program grant funds and community connectivity grant funds in the amount of $3,961,272.12 for multi-use connections, trail development, and sidewalk construction and improvements. Resolved, A, that the town of Simsbury appropriate $3,367,272.12 from local transportation capital improvement program, LOTSIP, grant funds, and $594,000 from the community connectivity grant funds for an aggregate appropriation of $3,361,272.12 for 1, improvements to the multi-use connections/trails development, parentheses, Bloomfield to Terriffill, including for construction costs, land or easement acquisition, and other expenses related to the project, parentheses, $1,254,200 from local transportation capital improvement program grant funds. 2, the design and construction of sidewalks in the business district of the north end of the town of Simsbury, including for construction costs, land or easement acquisition, and other expenses related to the project, parentheses, $913,072.12 from local transportation capital improvement program grant funds. And 3, the design and construction of sidewalks on Firetown Road, including for construction costs, materials, land or easement acquisition, demolition and removal of materials, and other expenses related to the project, parentheses, $1,200,000 from local transportation capital improvement program grant funds, and $594,000 from community connectivity grant funds. The Board of Selectmen may determine the particulars and may reduce or modify the scope of the projects, and the entire appropriation may be spent on the reduced or modified projects. B, that pursuant to Section 809 of the Town Charter, this resolution be presented to a referendum vote under the following caption. Shall the town of Simsbury appropriate $3,961,272.12 of local transportation capital improvement program grant funds and community connectivity grant funds for multi-use connections/trail development and sidewalk construction and improvements?
Great. So I just want to acknowledge Heather Getz has joined the call also, who wasn't on at the beginning.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, I apologize.
That's okay. So thank you. I'm just going to move that we approve the resolutions that were just presented and the wording for the referendum. Somebody wants to
I'll second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? And all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And then secondly, I'm going to ask for a motion to set the referendum date for Saturday, January 7th, 2023, pursuant to Section 809 of the Town Charter from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the Simsbury Town Hall, 933 Hot Meadow Street.
Move that.
Thank
Second,
you.
this is Eric.
Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. So that motion passes. So we now have a referendum set for January 7th to vote on these items. And I'd like to ask for a motion to adjourn.
Move that.
I'll second. This is Amber.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thanks.
Aye.